like to invite our ASB president up.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marco Mendoza. I'm the ASB president, and I'll be here to give you a short report on what's going on with student life in the ASB. So today at the Pacific Coast campus, a homecoming rally was held from 11 to 1, and it was a great success. A rally will be held this Thursday here at the Liberal Arts campus from 11 to 1 as well. And homecoming elections are also underway with students being able to vote online. Already over 300 votes have been casted, and the voting will end on Thursday. The homecoming festivities themselves will begin this Saturday at 3 p.m. with a tailgate event continuing until 5 p.m. The game itself will start at 6 p.m. with a Student Life organized halftime show. We invite you all to attend. Also, the Pacific Coast campus will be hosting a veterans celebration tomorrow from 11 to 2 at the PCC Quad. There will also be a motivational speaker in the Dyer Hall from 10 to 11 a.m. And the Pacific Coast Campus Student Council will be holding Dining with Directors event this Tuesday, November 19th from 2:30 to 4:30. And you're all invited as well. The Pacific Coast Campus will be holding a cultural affairs event, which is a multicultural event this Tuesday, the 16th. I'm sorry, Wednesday the 20th. There's a few things on the report. Sorry. The Student Life Reception which is a big student life event each semester. Will be on Tuesday, December 3rd, at 3 p.m. at the Grand Event Center here in Long Beach, and the ASB Banquet will be on Thursday, December 5th. It's an event that the ASB holds every semester as well to acknowledge all the great accomplishments that the ASB cabinet has made, as well as the Student Council at PCC has made. And that is all for my report. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I just want to say I had the opportunity to sit in on a meeting here recently, and this gentleman performed very well as the chairman. He did an excellent job. It was interesting sitting in and listening to you folks talk, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. There was a question earlier by a speaker that just asked the question why we were having the ASB president speak. It does not reflect a student trustee. A student trustee is a member of this board, but for the past 2 years, we've always had, we want to have a real good update on student life. And so that was a question of bringing another student in to speak about student life. If it's not going to be part of the student trustee's traditional reports, which is it's whatever the student trustee would like to report on. But for the past 2 years, we've gotten very little reports on actual student activities we think is important to present to the board. So that's really the reasoning. There's no hidden agenda there. It was just that a lot of information that this board historically has always gotten was not receiving, and we thought it'd be a good opportunity to introduce the president of the ASB, let that person do the report on student life, and that was the reason behind it. Not to reflect on our student trustee, but that's what was taking place for the past 2 years. If you don't believe me, look at the minutes of our meetings, and rarely did anything about actual student life, which is a critical component to this college and to the interests of this board. So that's the reason why we appreciate this student body president coming here to speak. The individual is not speaking as a student trustee, nor is ever being viewed as placing a student trustee. But that was the reasoning behind it, and we appreciate the information, and it's all positive. So the question came up earlier, and I wanted someone just to explain that, hopefully. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're now moving on. By the way, who do we play at homecoming this week? Who?
College of the Desert.
Oh, very good. College of the Desert. The Roadrunners. All right. Very good. Thank you very much. We're now moving to, there's no items for the Pacific Coast campus. There's also no item for the College Advancement and Economic Development, which brings us now to reports and communications, and the chair will recognize the Academic Senate President.
Hello, I'd like to introduce Christiane Warner, our fabulous Faculty Professional Development Coordinator. She's here to give you a report.
Thank you. And as she's working her way across the podium, for many of you at our last meeting, and it was just, again, it was unfortunate, but the president of the Academic Senate had an opportunity to speak on an issue that was before the board at the time, and I have to say her comments were exceptionally well done, and I apologize because it was after we took a recess, after we finally, the chambers had essentially been vacated on the item, and I really do, it was unfortunate because her comments at that point in time would have been very beneficial, and I think were very thoughtful. And unfortunately, we didn't know that, and I apologize that you didn't have that opportunity to make those comments when everyone was in the chamber talking about that item, and it wasn't until after the meeting. But anyone who wants to listen to it, I guess they can on YouTube, but our apologies, because we did appreciate your comments at that time, and I apologize that they weren't allowed to, we missed the opportunity to have you speak at the appropriate time, so we'll do a better job next time on that. We do appreciate your comments. With that said.
Thank you. Thank you, President Van Sinden. I also want to thank Board President Kellogg and the fellow board members for this time. The role of faculty professional development is to balance the goals of the institution with the needs of the faculty and to provide sustained and focused trainings for the faculty. FPD, or Faculty Professional Development, is made up of 1 steering committee and 6 subcommittees. And I'd like to update you on what we did last year. The college has 3 flex or professional development days, and we've had this for decades. We have changed because of contractual changes that we have now a floating flex day, which is scheduled in the calendar, but it allows faculty for the flexibility to obtain training where and when they choose, rather than where and when the institution chooses. We also had, as was reported a little earlier this evening, the Staff Equity Committee and FPD worked very closely together to offer a themed flex day that targets board goals, specifically equity, entitled Walking the Talk, Diversity, Inclusion, and Equity in Higher Education. In total, last year, FPD coordinated 43 workshops on the 2 flex days with 852 attendees. A significant number of faculty, though, directed their own learning through individual or group project approved through a peer review process. In years past, the average is about 60 to 65 faculty members full-time who submit proposals. Last year, 98 full-time faculty submitted proposals to do this. We suspect that this is because of the changed state regulations for course repeatability, and faculty needed to take time to work in coordination with one another to look at curriculum because of state mandates. In 2010, Faculty Professional Development expanded its professional development opportunities, and it established a Faculty Teaching and Learning Center under the direction of Dr. Lynn Shaw. They also have webinars that we've been filming. So we film our activities and then we provide them through YouTube. The center has enabled FPD to offer an additional 51 trainings last year with 585 attendees at these events. Last year, the subcommittee that oversees this center developed a new project, Faculty Innovation Grants. We were able to find $5,000 in our budget, and we invited faculty to pilot innovative ideas to address solutions to curricular or instructional issues that have potential for improving student success. We had 17 different faculty groups provide us with information or for proposals, and we ended up choosing 3 teams that divided $5,000. The fact that we had 17 groups asking for $5,000 means that faculty are eager to be innovative and looking for funds to do so. We also, last year when I introduced the new faculty to you, I reported that we had 8 YouTube webinars with 16,000 views. We now have 18 webinars with almost 78,000 views. The most popular webinar was offered by Dr. Tricia Alexander in psychology, entitled How to Teach Critical Thinking, and it has over 30,000 views. We have another subcommittee, the Faculty Advertisement and Communication of Excellence Subcommittee. In the shortened version of that is FACE. It's easier to remember that. They showcase faculty accomplishments as they are engaged in the classroom, the community, and their professional lives. The committee holds weekly events so that faculty develop stronger bonds with one another. This committee also worked with the 2013 valedictorian, Ricky Brown, who all of you met, to award Scott Frazier in electrical because Scott Frazier was Mr. Brown's most inspirational teacher. We hired only 2 new faculty in the fall. But last year, we hired, over both January and August, we hired 8 faculty. And we now have a contractual obligation to teach them weekly as opposed to before the term begins. What has happened in that is that those faculty, under that 1-year obligation, average 36 hours of professional development when their contract only requires them to do 18. It also has brought in mentors, because they are mentored like a big brother or a big sister, and those mentors are coming in for more trainings. The Resources and Opportunities Subcommittee is the one that does a peer review process for conference requests for travel. That budget has been static for many years, unexpectedly so. But faculty have access, all faculty, whether they're full-time or part-time, have access to just under $500 to attend a conference. We have found that many faculty attend only local conferences because non-local discipline-related conferences, the average of that cost is between $1,000 and $2,000. Faculty would greatly appreciate more funds to travel. They want to connect with their peers, and it provides an opportunity for Long Beach City College to be on a stronger national stage because the faculty can share the good news about what's going on here. Last year, though, we received a very special gift from 2 different efforts. Associate Vice President Jay Field was working very diligently on coordinating the online teaching conference that occurred at this campus in June. He also arranged for 15 registrations for free. We also were able to get funds from President Oakley. He provided for an additional 17 faculty members to attend the college, or to attend this conference. So in total, we actually had 10% of our full-time faculty able to attend this effort in June. And I want to thank them both for their support in that effort. In regards to growth, it's very grand. The Student Success Task Force that produced the report back in 2012 talked about 9 different recommendations for improving student success rates. 2 of those 9 recommendations regarded to professional development. If current and proposed programs at the college are investing time and effort, and if these are going to succeed, professional development for faculty is a necessary core part of that. I'd like to close with a quote. Albert Einstein stated that it is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. I work with a fantastic group of faculty. There are 37 different faculty who serve on FPD committees. It's a very large working operation. I am honored to lead them and to be working with them. They have taught me much, and they are dedicated individuals who care deeply about being great teachers. I have enjoyed serving along with them in order to awaken in all faculty the joy in creative expression and knowledge for LBCC. Thank you for your time and attention.
Very good.
Thank you very much. Questions, members of the board at this time? I just, not a question for you, but just an observation. We realize, board understands that in the next year, we have the possibility of bringing on over 50 new full-time faculty members. That's going to put a tremendous burden. Burden may not be the proper word, but it's going to be challenging to go through much of this with over 50 full-time faculty. So I'm just making the statement now that we need to prepare for that when we do hire the additional full-time faculty members, and how, personally as a board member, we assure that we are getting student success. That term has been utilized a lot, but defining clearly what that means and making sure that's part of the professional development as we move forward. We're trying to incorporate student success into everything we do here in the planning process at college, but it's going to be, it's a good problem to have, but it will be a challenge, and so we appreciate the hard work. But if we do indeed hire that many new full-time faculty, it's going to need some planning and some preparation. At least that's what I believe. Trustee Clark?
Let me just say, I think we're just as good as our faculty. And I think we have a good faculty. And I think sometimes faculty doesn't think that the board appreciates them, but we do, because without you, we would be nowhere. So I do appreciate your being here and explaining to you all the hours that you spend, but never think that the board doesn't think you're important. You are.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
I have loved this assignment. It is also very,
Thank you. We appreciate that, too. Trustee Otto?
Question, Christine? Thought you could get away.
sorry, it's Christy Ann.
Christiane,
Christy Ann.
in the work of faculty professional development, do you guys make any efforts to link up the work that you do with the goals of the college in the educational master plan, in the trustees' goals, and the president's? Because as we go through this accreditation process, it occurs to me that that kind of linkage would be important.
It would be important. We have found that there are gaps at times. I think that the accreditation questions are prompting us to reflect upon the way in which we develop workshops. And we have had that conversation within Senate Executive, and are starting to bring that conversation to work groups within faculty professional development, and that include other faculty as well. For us to be more team-oriented in how we develop this effort.
The word alignment comes to mind when
Yes, it does.
to see if what we say we're going to do is the things that we actually do. And I mean, I concur with what Trustee Clark said, but always keeping in mind what we're trying to do is important. And I was looking at the various committees, and I just wondered whether those conversations occur, and you say that they are.
They do.
Thanks.
Very good. Thank you very much. No other items at that time. President Superintendent, report, please.
Just to confirm, Senate President Dana, you have no other items? Okay. We're being extra careful.
Don't want to make that same mistake.
Okay, thank you, Board President Kellogg. You do have a few items, just want to briefly update the board on. First of all, I want to invite everyone who can attend on November 20th at 5 p.m. here in this room. We will be thanking Personnel Commissioner Darwin Thorpe, who will no longer serve on the Personnel Commission. As we heard earlier today, the AFT appointed a new commissioner, Jackie Wilvers. But we would like to honor Mr. Thorpe, who has not only served as a Personnel Commissioner for many, many years, but of course served here on the Board of Trustees and has been associated with Long Beach City College for many, many years. I consider him a colleague, someone who cares about this college, and someone who served this college. So I welcome everyone who can attend to come thank Darwin in person for all his years of service. And on the heels of that, on December 5th at 1:30 in the reception area in the administrative building behind us, we will be welcoming new Personnel Commissioner Jackie Wilvers. Jackie is no stranger to Long Beach City College. She worked here for many years, and we are welcoming her back. So if you are available, please stop by and welcome our newest Personnel Commissioner, Jackie Wilvers. A few other quick updates. First of all, I want to thank everyone, particularly our student vets who participated in the Veterans Day Parade, the Long Beach Veterans Day Parade. It was a great event, and it was made great by the fact that our students were there, our veterans who serve this country, who also represent Long Beach City College, and they represented us very well. I also want to thank the trustees who participated in that Veterans Day Parade as well, and thank everyone who has served in the armed forces, who is here serving at Long Beach City College. Again, thank them again for their service. I was also going to make a comment about the ASB president coming to discuss these items. I have previously talked to the student trustee and assured her that this is not a reflection on her as a student trustee, and that this is not the first time that the board has asked to be introduced to the ASB president, who is also elected by the students, to come to the board meeting. So, I also want to thank Marco for taking the time to come as well. And then finally, I just want to update the board. As many of you have read recently, the college has published its list of classes for the winter intersession. These are the first winter intersession courses offered at Long Beach City College. We're offering a pretty wide breadth of courses, both state-supported and winter extension courses. And so we're hopeful that the students will take advantage of them. We'll be working hard with Vice President Brock to ensure that the word gets out and that students can make this time available to themselves and use it to get one of the many courses that are available to them to further their educational goals here at Long Beach City College. And again, I want to reiterate that for the extension courses, because again, much continues to be said, but we are, with the great support of the Long Beach City College Foundation, we have been able to lower the cost, the per unit cost to our low-income students to $90 a unit. And if we continue to get additional support, we will continue to reduce that cost as we go forward to make as many courses available to as many students as possible. And I think that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. This time, the chair recognizes the student trustee.
Thank you. Well, before my report, I will like to thank board member Tom Clark, who came to our ASB meeting, and that was held on Pacific Coast Campus, and he had the opportunity to see how our meetings operate, and actually he had the opportunity to see one presentation I made, and he was there for some discussion, so thank you very much for being present there.
I just happened to be wandering around the campus because I was taking a course there. And I was invited by our student trustee to be there, and I enjoyed the meeting. Thank you.
Thanks. So, all right, so going on with my report. During the past weeks, the ASB and the PCC Student Council has been discussing the possibility to pass a resolution that will encourage professors to use open source textbooks. These textbooks may be free online or can have a really low cost when they are printed. Currently, we have students who are failing classes because they could not pay for their textbooks. I understand that many classes could not be possible. For many classes, it could not be possible. But for those classes that could change their current books to an open source textbook, it will highly benefit the students' budget and their success. So far, we have been interviewing students, and the vast majority prefer open source textbooks. During the next board meeting, I will be presenting the total results of these interviews. Second, Governor Brown signed Assembly Bill 1358 that will allow districts to have a voluntary representation fee for general assemblies of the Student Senate of California community colleges and other student government that may exist in the future. Last semester, locally, Long Beach City College students voted in favor of the implementation of the $1 representation fee. This semester, against the wish of the voters, the voluntary fee was not charged. Because of this, just 3 students could go to the General Assembly of the Student Senate of California community colleges. The General Assemblies are a good experience, and all students' leaders should be able to assist and to give input in important policies and resolutions that are being passed by the SSCCC. Now, with the passage of AB 1358, we could be charging a local representation fee and one representation fee for the SSCCC. Both are voluntary fees. It is important for our students that people who represent them are fully informed of the political issues that are affecting every student in California community colleges. Third, it has come to my attention that during the personal registration process and when the students need assistance with their financial aids, they have to reveal personal information to other students that are in the room. This is happening because the locations are not made to protect the students' privacy. I know we made bond and members really often. It will be nice to do something and to accommodate the financial aid officers and admissions officers in a way that protects student privacy. Ultimately, last week, unfortunately, I was present when the LBCC shuttle left behind a disabled student because it did not have the proper accommodations to take her from LAC to PCC. Although the situation will be resolved and the shuttle company will provide buses according to the American Disabilities Act, this particular situation opened my eyes to other falencias that we have on campus and are negatively impacting the disabled population. Few weeks ago, the representative of student services at PCC, Stephanie Deschamps, reported that many of the buttons that disabled students use to open the doors on campus are not working. Also, it has come to my attention that other disabled students have found many problems to present their test on campus and attending classes because they don't have proper equipment. They need the proper equipment they need, and this is affecting their success. It is important for us to ensure that every student has what they need. Affordability and access to all services should be part of our priorities. Big part of the student success depends on that, and we should be able to always work to better the conditions of every student at Long Beach City College. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Board of Trustee Communications. Chair recognizes Trustee Otto.
Yeah, thank you. On over 3 days, beginning on October 31st, 3 of our trustees and President Oakley attended the Governance Institute for Student Success conference here at Long Beach City College, which we had worked for over 2 years to try and bring to this campus. The purpose of the conference was to train trustees in student success, to evaluate the policy action agenda for student success, and to meet with trustees from around Southern California. There were 6 community colleges represented with at least several trustees, if not all the trustees, at this conference, and I think it was a very good experience. It was facilitated by Narcissa Polonia from the ACCT in Washington, D.C., and Byron McClenny from the University of Texas, who incidentally is retiring this year. This was one of the last institutes, I think, that he'll be participating in, and we've developed good relationships with both those facilitators over the course of the last few years in our efforts to bring this conference to Long Beach. The upshot of the conference was that we all made a commitment to take steps to further the student success agenda here. As you know, it is part of our educational master plan, it's part of our trustee goals, and we're going to be agendizing this issue on a regular basis and working hard to move the needle, if you will, on this issue on the Long Beach City College campus. In talking to the other trustees and President Oakley afterwards, we all thought that although it was a lot of time out of otherwise busy times in our lives, it was very, very successful, and we wanted to share with you that we had participated in this conference and that there are implications for the way we do business here, which will we're happy to talk to you individually about what went on, share the agenda with you, talk about the student success policy action agenda, and otherwise go into more detail if anyone's interested. So just let us know.
Thank you. I just would like to follow up because I was attending that, and what I would request as we get farther, as we finish this meeting, for future report, President Oakley, if you could put together a report, because many things were discussed at that event. Obviously, no items, or there was no action taken, but there was plenty of good information that I would like to start to find a way to start to agendize items that we discussed or was recommended that we can start putting onto our agenda to discuss and possibly put more into an implementation. There were many different areas of discussion, but one of which was we talked about student success, and especially with how that's incorporated, defining it, and then explaining it, and then incorporating the things which is with full-time faculty. And we realizing we were hiring a tremendous amount of faculty members. So how do we actually do that or make it better? That came up in the discussion. So we'd like to have something that agendized that can be discussed properly and looked at. There was also an item and I'll step over to this one. It was with trustee development as well. In discussion in there. The Community College League of California, which is a statewide organization for elected trustees, they are actually engaged in a program currently on effective trustee where you go, you essentially get a certificate. It is optional, but it's to at least expose trustees to a lot of training or things that are taking place currently in the California Community College system. Those are things I'd like to see us bring forward that we can discuss and possibly put into a policy for board members, future board members, on how we work and how we get educated and become better at what we do. So those are just some things generally I would like to see in the future as far as reports. I would also like to thank Trustee Otto because he's the one that really started this a year ago. I'm going to assume about bringing this organization, the ACCT, the national organization for trustees. And it was very beneficial, a lot of information, but we have to take it to the next step, and I think it's important that we start to agendize for discussion and then possibly implementation of policy and things of that nature. So whatever is you think is the best way that we can start that process, I would appreciate it. And I bring up the one about the student with the trustees because ironically, and I just wanted to make this comment, I know it's somewhat generational. Trustee Clark, of course, announced through a traditional, giving a press release to the newspapers who then announced that he is not seeking a term. Then we find out with Trustee Bowen that he, reflecting his generation, goes to Facebook to announce that he is not going to be seeking a re-election this term. So I wish Mark the very best, Trustee Bowen the very best. So you had two different ways of saying the same thing. Trustee Bowen has announced that he will not be seeking re-election. Why I bring that up with this other item is that makes it even more critical that we have a program in place, just like full-time faculty members, that we have in place for new trustees to be a proper training introduction to the role of the Board of Trustees, because we are going to have new trustees here. So I say that. I wish Trustee Bowen the very best. And with that, other trustees, I'm sorry. Hearing none, we're going to move on then. There is no trustee communications. I mentioned the fact on a future report, if we could have that to reflect the Student Success Initiative. The last item is the non-agenda items for discussion. We have 3 speakers. We'll start with Lynn Shaw, then we'll go to John Kincaid, and then Stephanie, I believe you're third. You are.
Hi, I'm Lynn Shaw, and I'm the president of the Full-Time Faculty Union, and I'm pleased to speak to you like I do most every meeting. I asked Emily to help me because I have some charts I want to show you and the audience. Last weekend, the National Education Association selected Long Beach as a training site for their 20 emerging leaders from around the country. And they were here for 3 days, and they spent time training our faculty, full and part-time. We had a reception where we looked at Ann Mitchell's beautiful artwork, our very own art faculty, and then we had a picnic, and that was really fun too. But they also gave 2 awards to 2 of our faculty. They had the Cesar Chavez Award, and they gave that to Carlos Ramos. And then they had honoring labor leaders, the Mother Jones Award, and they gave that to our organizing team chair, Mary Markey, a history professor. So the second thing I want to talk about is it's been 5 years since full-time faculty have gotten a raise. Our last raise was 1% in 2008. I want to show you what this has done to our faculty. And I did give you some handouts, and I will be emailing you all these charts. I have 3 charts. The first is the PhD salary. We compared Long Beach to 9 other colleges. Long Beach City College is dead last. Comparing it to the highest, Long Beach City College is $26,622 less in salary. The next chart is masters with additional units. Again, Long Beach City College is dead last. Comparing the highest to Long Beach City College, that's $27,505 less. And finally, the entry-level teachers with master's degrees. And really, this is the one that concerns me the most because I understand we're 53 under in full-time faculty, 53. And I think we can all agree that we want the very best faculty for Long Beach City College. And it's hard to attract the best when the salary is so low. Applicants will go elsewhere unless we do something to improve the situation. Again, comparing the 9 surrounding colleges to Long Beach, the pay difference between the highest and the lowest, we're not dead last, we're second to last, is $13,264. So you've all asked me at one time or another, what do faculty want? What do faculty mean when they say we think we're not respected? And I'm telling you now, we want and deserve a raise. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. John? Followed by Stephanie.
We talk a lot about the students and about student life, but students can't do anything when we have a dysfunctional, misleading student life. At one time, we had a very proud student life program. We had people that cared, they were passionate. No matter how low we were on staff or anything, they bring people together to do the impossible. But since then, we let people go. The people we have now are incompetent. You lie to the students, you tell them things that's not true. As you've seen for the last 2 years, at our homecoming game, it's gone down worse and worse. I hear all the time about how successful our events are. If you take those same events 4, 6 years ago compared to now, you wouldn't be saying that. It's kind of bad when you have an event sometimes, and an event usually brings in hundreds of students, people from the community and staff, and now you're lucky if you see sometimes 10 people show up. That's not a successful event. We have people that's supposed to be helping these young people be great leaders, mold them, but yet though they mislead them and tell them things that's not even true. Now, Mr. Otto, you're a law attorney, it's a law firm. Now, when a student is told he can't have a witness in a meeting or anything because confidentiality, which is nothing on the books. I've gone through our policies and regulations with others. We downloaded the whole thing from the school thing. Nothing in there. And when you ask somebody to back that up, what they're saying in black and white with a name and a date, they can't do that. Something's wrong. When you go to a meeting and the ASB Constitution and bylaws says what you can and can't do, and you bring it to this person who's supposed to be a coordinator, and they sit there and tell you, well, you're lying, it's in my manual, which we know it's not, and when you ask them to show it to you, they can't show it to you, but you show them what it says on paper, they get mad and find ways to backstab you. What is that telling our students? Or when you tell a student that you don't understand. A lot of students here, they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s. Some of these students have more life experience than most of us here sometimes. But because they don't have a degree, we tell them, you wouldn't understand because you're just a student. What are we telling our people? Dr. Peterson, I brought to you a number of times, and Dr. Bullen when he was still here, about Anita Gibbons. So we have other people from the ASB over the years and other students. Nothing's ever been done. The PCC campus used to be someplace that looked like a community college. Now it's so dead, the county morgue looks more alive than the college.
1 minute, John.
You know? It's ridiculous. Until we learn to bring everybody together in the community, the students, the staff, faculty, we would never be the community college we used to be. We used to be the community college that everybody wanted to go to. In the last 2 years, everybody's been jumping ship. You know? Even my own son won't even come back here no more. And unlike me, he's a 4.0. You know? So you start thinking about what you're doing to this college. And remember, these people are not just students, they're parents, they're grandparents, and they're adults first before they're a student. They're not like a high school student. We need to start practice what we preach, because people are watching. Thank you.
Thank you. Stephanie.
Alrighty. Good evening, board members. My name is Stephanie Deschamps. I am the vice president of the Civic Engagement Club, and I'm here today to talk to you about our upcoming event. The Civic Engagement Club would like to cordially invite all of you guys here to attend, staff and community members. It's an informative event where we will be exploring what community colleges will possibly look like down the road. We will present a short film by Bill Moyers, United States of ALEC. Then we will have a discussion forum. We will feature guest speakers Jonathan Lightman. He's an executive director of the California Community Colleges Executive Director of the Faculty Association of California Community Colleges. Professor Donald Douglas and Professor Geeta Rajarm. Sorry. We will have food and drinks for free, so. The event will take place on November 20th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in room T1200. The event will be hosted by the Civic Engagement Club and the CCA Union. We highly encourage the board members to attend. The Civic Engagement Club believes that this would be a fantastic opportunity for board members to meet their students on a one-to-one basis. We would like to see teachers, students, and board members working side by side for greater student outcomes. Thank you and good night.
Thank you very much. There's no other items before the board at this time. I will then entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting of the Board of Trustees to our December 10th, 2013 meeting, which will be here at the LAC campus, closed session beginning at 4 o'clock, regular session beginning at 5 o'clock. Without objection, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Good night.